It's so sad. I wish I'd have stayed recording. Lewis is sick from the vaccination. He's a completely different man. See him right there. Now he uses canes and walkers. He never did that before. In fact, he was chatting me up. He took me out to dinner twice trying to be Mr. Macho. But So anyway, hopefully I can catch these guys. Not too good though. I'm pretty sure she sees me. Darn it. But not him. Yeah, it's between me wanting to film him and not wanting to have a confrontation. It's one of those smooth, slick dudes that wear sunglasses in their sleep. He's a total meth head. They're both on major drugs. If it's a lie, she told it. I didn't necessarily even ask for the information. I feel bad for her because she has a wasting disease. Yeah, he came to my door and said that Jake was being used in dog fights. Could I take him because he took him for her and that she didn't want him, that Jane didn't want him. Sometimes he gets angry enough to turn to the side. I was trying to get that. Well, believe me, we've got our excitement around here. Yeah, Jake went off and I'm all, dude, because sometimes he soaks us to get us to go to the kitchen that he'll beg for a treat. And so I just decided, I felt inspired to take a look, and sure enough, he was hurrying away on his game leg, looking back to see if I'd seen him. He's real pressured up about something. I don't know what it is. Narcissists do not like when you thought they're stealing. They're stealing. And he was trying to steal one of the electric wheelchairs. It's actually in here. And what happened was Iris, when I saw her, she had no way of moving around, and she was miserably sitting on the bench, and I told her, well, she should use one of my chairs. She said she was actually going to be buying one, that they were looking into buying them. And I said, well, then why don't you use mine in the meantime, that I normally loan these to people. I get them, I fix them, I buy them for, $300-400 and for cheap, and then I let people use them so they can go to the doctor, so they can go get their groceries, whatever the case may be. Sometimes they have little errands they need to do, and life is kind of made impossible for them. And so instead of having them suffer, I went and got them some, and I'm really mechanically inclined, so when somebody's giving, I have a red one next door, free, and this fellow said that, so I loaned her this blue one right here, okay? Now, that's one that I bought, all right? This is Byron's sister's chair, okay? And it was in bad disrepair. As you can see, the handle is busted. So I told him if he wanted to use the red one, he said that there was something wrong with the keypad. Because, see, I saw him writing this, and I was like, well, what about Iris, And they're like, well, he needs it to keep his job at the Salt Lake City Inn down here, which was a known crime place. He says he was security and that he was running off bad guys, which really, was impressive to me. I'm like, ooh, he's helping. Turns out he's a big liar. Well, what ended up happening is they'd been trying to get rid of his butt, but he wanted to be grandfathered in, and they're like, well, you're not our kind of guy. And, you don't own businesses without having instincts. So what ended up happening is he starts double talking, and, he tells me that the red thing, and anyway, he gets in, I said, well, just take whatever you need from the two to make sure you get one good. Well, he decides he doesn't want the red one, and he's going to steal this one and takes it without me even knowing it. And I'm like, what the heck? Because he knows very well. And I had made the mistake of letting them in. And when I left, he must have done it rather immediate. So it's not as if he forgot what was happening or anything. Because when I took them in is when they were let in. And so maybe I don't know if he had the code or what, but it might have been when I had this new lock that was with, because I had to change it. Long story short, he takes the wrong one. So we asked for it back, and he starts getting all pissed off. And then he says, "You said not to tell Byron." Like I was stealing the woman's thing for him. No, 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 no. I said, don't tell Byron I was getting him a new controller because this controller's messed up. Anything on here that he needed to use, I was willing to replace because I wanted to refurbish it. I come from a dad that restores cars, and I think it'll be kind of fun to restore these. I see a lot of people's freedom restored, and they can get around, and it's a lot of fun. But this guy, oh man, he got so mad that I wouldn't let him steal Byron. No, it doesn't matter what you thought. What matters is you need to bring it back, Then he wanted to tear it apart, and they claimed that they spent so much money on batteries. First of all, I'd given him one of those rotating air purifying heaters that was worth several $100s, and the idiot went and they say that he evicted him and kept it, This was over a short period of time, and he had lied to me just a couple days before that and said, "I'm going to go get it right now," which is the story that's true. So, anyway, I wanted to get him on film so people could see, because he's very much a stalker. I'm always seeing him staring at me from behind some corner, and I think it's ridiculous. And he's here all the time, and it's so funny. He'll try to come out of a corner or a parking space all dressed up in leather and looking like a biker and broom broom and all that. And he won't get me off his, for some reason I can't leave his mind. And but that just happened today. Hello, have a nice day. Yep. So the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and hand in here about this laundry. Oh, that was embarrassing. She's lovely, and I don't want her to know that instead of one of the Russians. There's his bike right there. You see? And he was parking his other thing. He literally horned in on him and is sleeping there. And Jane, we had a last barbecue with her, and Jane is like, "I don't even want him here." This guy forces his way into everybody's life. It's what do you expect from a thug? And like I said, he has this, I don't know if he's had a stroke from his drug use or whatever, but he's very, very muff. And it's very difficult for anyone to understand what he's saying. I just wish I could put it to where we could see him. Yeah, he's one of those. My brother got a load of him. Boy, was he shocked that my brother's black. And then we came up on a motorcycle, because I actually was raised by real bikers. It was BACA, Bikers Against Child Abuse, that got me safe. They took me out of my abusive home and saw to it that I was not there again until I chose to, as an adult, go back and see my dad, how he's doing. Anyway, I adore you guys, and I want to apologize because it does get kind of nuts around here. Very, very nuts. Like, for example, someone putting gouges in the walls to make it worse than it is. They went to spackle it and came back and spackled it super huge to make it look like I was excavating the walls. Amazing. Since we're at it, I'm going to show you guys a couple things, and then I'll explain them later. So, yeah. For example, that. I'm going to check on the weather really quick. Welcome to beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah, which is quite beautiful. But we always have remnants of homeless people. They're sweet, but it's sad.